Jason, I've always been so envious of the firemen going to grub up. It always looks so cool seeing that. It's pretty cool to see you in the. Okay, you're good to go.
I'm not much of a cook, though, so I don't know how to do the cooking.
Hey,
Alrighty, appreciate it, guys. The meeting will come to order. Liam, it's
Yeah.
6:31 PM. All right, item 2 on our agenda is roll call. Got Noah Nagrin, Liam Erickson, Andy Blanchard, Eric Quirk, Jason Quirk, Terry Toomey present. And Harbor Master Darren Granada. Item 3 on our agenda is approval of the minutes from October 14th of 2025. I will move to approve. Can I get a second?
Yeah.
All right, second by Liam. Those in favor is unanimous. Appreciate that. Item 4 on our agenda. Harbor Master's report.
All right, so everybody completed their conservation time. It's been turned into the clerk's office for myself. I have a few in my office that will end up at the clerk's office, so everybody had met their conservation time requirement for the next year. The last survey was conducted up in the Nonsuch River on 10/29. That was the last one for the year. At this point, if any crab traps are still left out, they need to be removed and dried out. I issued 4 or 5 out this year. I just told those people that got them to just keep them, dry them out, and we'll put them back in next year. We did get approval through town council to install the new, use some working waterfront money to install a new dock driver pile. That's out for RFP. It's due back in here by Thursday. The only other thing is, make sure that we have to probably look at crab kills for next year for conservation time and see if we can up those a little bit. They were very productive end of April and May with doing molting seasons. So I would recommend that we try to look at that again. April will be shellfish renewal. Obviously, I had the ordinance went to Ari after you guys approved it. I'm waiting for that to come back to us just to make sure there's no other changes before it goes into council. And I think that's about it for me.
All right, appreciate that. Item 5 on our agenda is council liaisons report. But there is none. Item 6 on our agenda is general public comment. But there is none. So public comment is closed. Item 7 on our agenda is old business. But there is none. All right, item 8 on our agenda is new business. And the first item is Shellfish license fees. Darren, can I get you to introduce this?
Yeah. So you guys can take one of these, pass them down.
I guess I have a question before we start that. And I feel a little bit each day in different ways. Maybe like I'm
Could
getting a little.
I have him introduce it and then we'll ask questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, appreciate it.
Actually, no, I guess I'm just curious. Obviously, well, why would Harbor Master Darren be requesting a license fee?
No, he's introducing this. It's just,
But
there's been no request yet.
it said, well, that is fair, but it just so happens that somebody provided, Kristen provided me with a new template for my notes, and she helped me out this week by adding a blurb for each of the items.
Okay.
Where it says Harbor Master Darren Granada provided an overview of the license fees and the reasons why he is requesting the increase. He spoke with ... And I'm excited to hear it, and I might be the biggest, Darren Granada fan down in Pine Point. With that said, you're not on the committee. And I don't know. No members from the public that I know of have come to talk about license increase. And I don't know of any of the committee members that have been hoping for an increase. And so I just think it's strange how we've gotten to the point, of that, but
William, I appreciate that, but nobody else knows that. So I'm just gonna have him
Okay.
introduce it.
Very good.
Because I
All right,
just didn't
thank
know.
you. Yep.
Appreciate that.
Alright, I think the reason why the request for the increase, that's not a proper statement.
Understood.
So the reason we wanted to open the discussion for shellfish license fees is because the town clerk's office, along with town staff, along with council, has asked us to look at fees as we do yearly. And one of the pressing issues was looking at the actual resident and non-resident commercial license fees. Because there are other towns around that are substantially more. So I asked Noah to put it on the agenda so that we could have a discussion as the committee to see where we want to go. This does not have to be like, we don't have to come up with dollar amounts tonight. I just want this to be a moving discussion, and maybe we may keep it as old business and revisit it next year. But they want us to specifically look at the commercial licenses, so the over 60 bushel licenses, the non-resident student, resident student, non-resident commercial, resident commercial. And I've started to do a little bit of research on this as requested by the town. To look at what the fee structures are, there's towns in this state that are charging $800 and $1,000 for a commercial license and $1,200 and $1,400 for non-resident commercial license. Some towns are at $300 for a resident, some towns are at $200. Right now, I can tell you, we are on the absolute extreme bottom of the spectrum as far as license fees. So I have talked to a handful of commercial people, not all of them. I did in fact talk to all three non-resident commercial harvesters, only because I had them all there at one point or near at one point. Everybody knows that there needs to be a license fee. Everybody supports the license fee. And this is an item for you guys for discussion. But I think that if you increase the license fee, the ideology will be people will not hold that license and just sit on that license and not use it. If you're a commercial harvester and you had to pay $600 for a license or $800 for a license, you're gonna go out and make a day's pay and pay for your license. But at $200, that a lot of people can just grab that license, just hold it and not use it and have it as a fail-safe. The non-resident guys it would not even matter. I talked to a few of them that have licenses in other towns, like, $800, $1,000, $1,200 is not even, it's like, yeah, not a problem. So I just wanted to open the discussion as I was asked to look at it globally, but I'm still in the process of looking through towns. And at some point, my plan would be to provide you with a document with, towns with a similar demographic of us, and then provide you with what those costs are, so we can have a discussion.
I've got a document if you wanna see it. Of all the
Sure,
towns.
I have one created, but whatever you send me would be fantastic.
There you go.
All right, yeah, I guess there's no action for this, so I guess I'll just put it on the floor, not doing anything formal, and we'll go into discussion. If anybody wants to start us off, just raise your hand and let me know what your thoughts are.
But where does the money go now?
So that's another nexus that I'm gonna use. Right now, mooring money goes into the working waterfront account, so that I can use that for infrastructure, etc. Shellfish money goes into the general fund. And my recommendation with a fee increase is that shellfish money, doesn't matter whether it's commercial or recreational, goes into another special revenue account for if we would decide we needed to seed, if we decided that we wanted to more crab traps, that money should not just go into the general fund. It should be coming back into the resource, very similar to the mooring fees coming back into the working waterfront infrastructure.
It does come into that?
Right now, Shellfish goes to the general fund,
Okay.
But we're gonna change that.
and that would be the recommendation, right?
Do you think the council will go with that recommendation?
I think that if we make the argument of what we would be using that money for. I think so. We're not talking a heavy lift of money here. You know, we're talking, you know. 20, if you did 30 licenses plus the I'm just ballparking, you're talking 25 or $30,000. But that money could go into an account that we could utilize. I mean, God forbid we have an issue down the road where we do have to seed. Like, it's pricey to seed.
Currently, I just did the calculation a second ago to figure out how much, not including the day passes, because I don't know how many we actually sell of those, but if you include the recreational licenses and the commercial licenses, we bring in $14,600. Altogether is my understanding of it, with of the percent, I think 5,000 is recreational and the other the there 9,600 would be for commercial licenses.
I have to look for numbers. Do you have this in an Excel spreadsheet?
Yeah, I do.
If you can send it to me, that'd be great. This is good. The other thing too is I've looked into having commercial surveys done by a company to come in, you know, they come in with like 5 or 6 people. And they do surveys in the specific areas, you know, so that we can have really good hard data. Those are not cheap. And my goal would be to utilize this type of money revenue for that down the road potentially. I think it's a very good use of license fees so that we can get very accurate data of where we're at and what the projection is like long term.
What kind of survey was that again?
A Shellfish survey.
So like it would be performed by the DMR or something?
Nope, it would be firmed by a third party company that's up in the mid coast.
Okay.
This guy comes down, he has a team of like 3 or 4 or 5 people, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he will literally survey your flats based on what we set. Like, we know that, you know, we've done this area for 3 years, and so we're gonna do this area for 3 years. Yarmouth uses him, Brunswick uses him, and they have the data that they have is very, very compelling.
Yeah, and we could have them on the same flat every year. Year
We
over
could.
year over year.
The problem is like I said, it's super pricey.
Oh,
Do you know what the pricing is?
It's like 30-40 grand.
Okay.
okay, so
And
you
that's-
do one.
Right. No, I think it's like
Yeah.
that your survey year, but I can look into it a little bit more, so.
Yeah, I like that.
That was kind of my intent. I mean, you know, if your license fee is gonna go up from, and I'm just arbitrarily throwing numbers out here, but like, if your license fee is gonna go from 200 to 600. And you don't have to do a survey. And we can contract, you know, a few science type people to do that survey appropriately and then give us the data. I think that value is huge.
Or at least it reduces how many surveys the license holders would have to do.
Correct. Or if the license holders want to do, you know, 3 crab kills and be done with their conservation time. Versus wasting a tide to go out and survey, because we know that a lot of people don't do surveys because they don't want to lose a day's pay of harvesting.
Isn't
that
that kind of ironic though? You lose a day's pay through increasing the fees anyways.
It's only a few, it's only a few $100s.
No, I know, I just think it's kind of funny if you think about it.
But I mean,
Well, let's talk about
days
something
paid
else
for.
too. I mean, we wanna make sure, we wanna ideally have people stop renewing licenses at some point. They're not using the licenses. I think that has been, this license latency has been a problem a lot of folks have talked about.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, I mean, yeah, it's not, it doesn't seem, you know, entirely ethical, and I'm not really sure their reasoning behind that, but even if I don't agree with it, I feel like that's somebody's own decision. you know, if they feel that they want to. Participate in the shellfish conservation hours, and if they wanna pay. And if they decide to not dig, that's their business. And if one of our top reasons or top considerations on adjusting the fees is to weed those people out, you know, plenty of those people might not, that might like, they might have the same, it might not change anything for them. It may not, but I do know I could use the 100 or the 200 or the $1,000 today. I could use it tomorrow. I could use it in the, you know, during the 4th of July when we're doing well clamming. Like, there's never gonna be a time until I hit the lottery, and I'll let you all know that I don't need an extra $1 or $1,000. And yeah, like the taxes in this town are crazy. I feel like it's almost like, oh, holy shit, the one area where our town is behind other people is the clamming license fee. Aren't I lucky? Why must we raise everything at every opportunity in this town? I just don't know. I don't know why.
It's a valid point, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. That was just something that. For me, I thought if the prices were to go up, that would probably cause people to not sit on their license. Really nothing more. I haven't said I support it one way or the other yet. I think, you know, it'll be controversial.
Piggybacking off of that, we also did just vote to keep the claim digger in Scarborough, so all that tax money staying here. I think it's kind of ridiculous to raise it if it's gonna go in the general fund, but if, like you said, it's gonna benefit us.
I really have a hard time raising the fee and putting it in the general fund.
Yeah, right.
I think if we're gonna raise it at all. That money has to come back to the industry. That's how.
Is there-
Certainty on that. It's not like Tom Hall is gonna be like, I solemnly swear that this money will go back to the clammers 100% of the time. If they get short on, they get jammed up on the school or what have you, fire truck, school, you know, underground bat cave, who knows, the town would be like, oh, we'll take this money, and they absolutely have the right to do that. Just like if someone donates land to the town, they can turn around and sell that land for the better good of the town.
If it's, and you're absolutely right, but if it's not, if it's earmarked like working waterfront account money. They can't utilize that money for anything else, and that would be what
There's a way to make sure we have that contingency.
Well, I mean, don't we put other stuff like, and so is it working waterfront money or is it clam
No, so what I'm
world money?
working waterfront account
Yeah,
has specific parameters, what it can be used for. This would be the same type of account that this money would go back into this program. They couldn't reach it, like right now, they can't reach into the working waterfront special revenue account, and be like, hey, we need 50 grand, like just take it. That money has to be of council approval, and there's like policy and law around what that can be used for.
sure, and not to just be a total son of a gun, but like, you know, love lobstermen, but for example, like hypothetically, like would my license increase pay for something that like a crane maintenance, for example, like the increase, like I don't know.
Different account. You
Okay.
wouldn't mirror working waterfront money and shellfish special revenue. It would be two separate accounts.
But I sure hope that we spend that money on seeding. Like, I mean, yeah, I suppose I could get down with it, but I just like, I don't know, in the business world, it doesn't seem common, I guess, other than Scarborough taxes, to have something go up at such a drastic rate. And I know that we're not even really proposing at this time any numbers, but like the idea that the number 1,200 is even coming out of anybody's mouth. I'm not a very good math guy, but that's like
Good
six
kickbacks.
times.
Yeah,
What's that? So what does that
Yeah.
mean? 600% increase?
sure.
Where in the world does that happen?
The
Other than
the only
Scarborough?
reason I'm giving you that number is because that was one of the highest
I mean, I'm
numbers.
gonna sweat. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would shoot that one off as a first proposal.
That's the highest,
Yeah.
that's the highest number there is.
Sure, but even if we
Yeah.
went 400, it is still uncommon in sustainable business to go up like that. Like, what product or service in 1 year doubles?
Well, I think it's that it's been $200 for so many.
It hasn't been, unless I'm totally losing my mind. What did we change the price of moorings, I guess? Is that what that
More
was?
were changed like 3 or 4 years. These have been, I don't have the exact date, but I know that these license fees have been in there for the last,
At least a decade.
years.
it's been maybe 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe if somebody wants to donate, they can donate to the Shellfish Fund, but like, I don't wanna be forced to pay like. What's the word, an exorbitant
Right.
amount more, but.
So if we're a committee, would we need now a treasurer and so like the money stays in us and it's our decision? So who gets the
So
money
what-
and who uses that money?
What, the way the process would work is, this committee makes the recommendation for a fee to increase, stay the same, whatever it is. Then that goes from here to the town council for an approval. And then they're gonna ask town staff, like, what's the recommended, the committee recommended X. And the committee also wants to make sure that the money goes into a Shellfish, special revenue account for utilizing for seeding, more traps, whatever, crab traps, the stuff that surrounds shellfish harvesting,
So
surveys.
gets to like keep money out. Okay.
So if you're gonna take money out of a special revenue account in this town, it basically comes under me. But or it goes, or Tom, or like the department head of that, but it has to be voted on by town council. We just can't take money out of that account. Very similar to the pier, the dock and pile. That project came out of the working waterfront account, but I had to justify that to town council, then town council had to vote to approve it, to allow me to take money out of there. Then I worked with finance to take the money for that project and they pull from that account. It's, once it's in those special revenue accounts, it has to go in front of council for approval, then finance will take the money and allow that department to spend out of it.
Do we need an answer this meeting or could we?
No, this is just the,
I just mean,
I'm
like,
just bringing this up because I wanted you guys to know what the current fees are. And this is super helpful because I have about 3/4 of this data of what you sent me, so.
There you go, Andy.
All right, Jason's got his hand up.
I get,
If money is gonna get spent out of the account, do we as the committee get to talk about it before it's spent?
Yes, so like before the dock and the pile, that went to coastal waters voted yes. Let's spend it, then it went to council, so any money that is spent, if we can get it into a special revenue account. Any money that is spent out of that account. I would bring it to you, the committee would vote yes or no, then it would go to council, and then I would inform the committee, I would inform the council. They voted yes, they voted no, these were the pros, this was the con, and then they can make a decision. And that's when I would encourage like you guys to be there for the public comment to say. Yes, we want to spend 30,000 on surveys for the next year or whatever that may be.
can we,
Surveys is really the big driver of this, and the reason I look at it is because. We don't have a lot of survey participation, and my concern with that is if we don't. Maintain surveys, we have no avenue to increase or decrease licenses based on what the stock looks like. I mean, that is where we drive license allocations from a survey. It's not from crab kills, it's all survey work. And a lot of people don't participate in surveys. So I had the same conversation with the Brunswick Harbor Master Marine Research Officer. Same thing in Freeport, the same thing in Yarmouth, and that's why they have shifted. And basically did an increase of license fees to offset survey work to make sure that we're preserving the industry for the future. Because if we don't do it, I'm afraid that we're gonna have a catastrophic failure, and that's what I'm worried about.
can we, wait until we have like a guarantee of that we're gonna create our own Shellfish account or whatever, like.
It would all go in as one piece to them.
It's contingent.
It's contingent, like
Does
we,
the account already
But I mean,
exist?
at that point, we're agreeing that we would go for those
Is that-
fees.
is the Shellfish account you're talking?
We tried to get, for this year, if we tried to get our current fees into a Shellfish account. Then we'd at least know yes or no whether we're gonna get that account or not, and then next year we can increase the fees to where we wanna increase the fees to it, so at least that way. We're not agreeing on a set price without any. Confirmation that it's actually gonna go for us. Might I remind you, the last thing that we put through to town council didn't, they voted down, that is the license fees of last year, or the license decrease of last year.
I don't believe. I think the state didn't approve it.
No, they voted with the state,
That's correct. They had to. They have no choice.
Well, they don't have
they
to.
didn't have.
They don't have to do anything.
Yes, there's no other alternative. The state,
Well, we.
to answer, Liam asked me a question on the side. To answer the question, is there a Shellfish special revenue account
Account,
right
like
now?
a bank account.
No.
Oh,
So when you pay your license fee,
goes to. the
it goes to
town.
general fund.
Sure.
So
makes
that
sense.
is used for buying fire trucks, police cars, buses, paving. And that's kind of my point, is if we put it back into the industry of where it comes from is where it should be.
Now, would the difference be going in there, or if we made this account, would the whole total go in there?
If town council approved it, they have to approve the special revenue account. The entire license fee goes into that,
Well, you know, yeah.
or that would be good.
Is Andy getting to the point where we tell you that we want the license fees increased, and then you send it over to town council? And they approve that, but they don't want to approve a separate account, and then we've already increased the licenses here, I think what I thought Andy was saying, let's do this year with these prices. Get the special account set up. And then go for a larger fee next year for.
And we can totally ask that. They just asked me,
To make sure that
Yep.
they're on the same page we are.
they asked me to look at the license just globally. And
Yeah.
then in the back of my mind, I said, well, if we're gonna increase the license fee, we should really make sure that it's going back into the resource that it has.
Yeah.
And I can ask that question.
Yeah, but what do you think they're gonna like? I mean, I don't know anyone on the council personally, but from the 10 years of me listening and going to the meetings and trying to be involved, I just can't imagine a world where they're like, yeah, you guys just take all that license money and just spend it well.
I think that, I don't think it's a hard sell to town council, especially if we propose it as a plan of. We've had significant decline in survey participation. There's other places that we can get to survey our data that's more consistent, but there's a cost associated with that. And there's gonna be an increased license fee for the Shellfish holders. But the money that we get from that, we want to go into an account that we can turn around and use for surveys on an annual basis and or seeding and et cetera. Because right now, we have zero money. I asked for $5,000, they gave me $2,500 to do clam seeding. I can't do anything with $2,500. So I'm gonna ask to take that line and roll it over next year and put another $2,500. Because we all know that in today's world, I think it's about $5 or $6 grand to even execute a seeding. My goal would be to get that account to where it's, 15 or 20,000 and do, if we need to do a seeding or two of them, do it, or ask to move that money into the special revenue account so that we have it sitting there if we want to do something larger than that.
What if we did that with the current prices that we have, then at least at that point, we'd be starting out with $14,000 to do the seeding projects. We wouldn't necessarily have enough to do the survey stuff, but at least we would
I think
not
that,
change the fees, but still have an account that we can do seeding projects.
and I think that's the question we ask them, like, if we wanna renew the money and. And leave the fee the way it is and put it into the special revenue account. If they'll allow that, then do something.
So if we wanted to seed or do the surveys now, is that money coming out of the general fund?
Right now, there would be no money coming anywhere for surveys, cause it's anything over $5,000 has to go to bid. It has to, it have to be a capital improvement project, something like that. If the only money that's in for any clam seeding right now is we put 2,500 in last year into that, it's a new line that had zero in it for the last like 5 or 6 years, and I said, I want some money in this. And again, it's not like this is just for clam seed money, it's clam conservation money. So that $2,500, if I decided I want to go buy 10 crab traps and lines and to replace existing, I can use it for that. If we had to do, so if there was some other issue we wanted to do for conservation work, if we needed new clam, like survey boxes, if we needed, to buy a few devices to do surveys with and such, that would cover that kind of, it has to be utilized for that type of money or that type of project.
I know, and this is, I guess maybe not exactly what we're talking about, but like, I know there have been a discussion about requiring survey projects. And I'm not really into like requiring anything. I think people should do the projects. I think I've done a survey. Maybe I guess I'm guilty of not doing one this last year, but done several surveys. And I think it's important for all the reasons that you've described. But I just feel like if we, at the time of talking again about the shellfish survey requirement idea, if the alternative had been proposed to forevermore double or triple or add $100 to the licenses with the goal of paying someone 50, how much does a survey cost? 50,000? Roughly, ballpark
I'm
lowest.
guessing probably 25 to 30.
$25,000,
It's not just
30,000.
it would be multiples. Like
Sure, I
this is-
get that. It'd be a lot, but I just mean like, man, sure would have liked to put that $20,000 from the increased license fee to seeding instead, or to not increase the license and just have people be required to do a survey. Like $50,000 is so much money. And you pretty much burn that up on one use.
Well, here's something we could do. I mean, we could take a temperature test tonight. In theory, I could just make a motion to table this indefinitely if people are against the idea. I could do that, and then we could vote against ever talking about it.
Well, no, I don't think that we should do that, or like, at least when you phrase it like that, like, I think we should discuss it, and I do appreciate, like, I'm not entirely delusional. The price of living and business is going up, and, it can't be $200 forever. But like, I think that I really like Andy's idea, or maybe it was, Jason or Eric's, or a combination of like, why don't we seek approval of this special account, leave the fee the same, and if we got some type of assurances or guarantees that this money could be spent at our reasonable discretion, like, that's great. What an awesome idea of our money going back directly to benefit us. Like, you would get no griping from me and maybe from other people as well. But it's just, I think I have this idea of this money that we're talking about goes back, in my humble opinion, goes back to Tom Hall to spend willy-nilly, as this town does, on everything else, on whatever they want without my say. And that frustrates me.
Well, I suppose we could do it piecewise, do the account first, do the fees next year, and we could, I mean. We're not acting on anything tonight, but it seems to be a fine way forward, so. That sounds good. If anyone else,
If we did increase these, like our union takes part of our dues and puts it in special interest account, like the health and wellness, is there any way we could increase and put it into an investment account? This, whoa.
I don't think the government can invest.
No, okay, I didn't know if that was.
I don't, I don't know the answer, but I don't think so.
That'd be balling if we could have a.
Would we get it,
If
would
they
we
have-
get a treasurer if we had money?
No, it operates just like the working, like the coastal waters committee.
Spend very-
It's in that account and it only can be, spent, the account sits in finance with the money in it. But the committee brings something forward to council, council has to vote to make that expenditure out of it.
Crazy here, I mean.
I guess-
Be able to afford to live here, let alone any plan place, what the hell is it?
I think that's something else that I would be interested in, like, I think it's just an awesome idea having an account that we have some type of discretion over. I think also, I mean, maybe if we did this type of thing, we could also consider like a lottery, we could do it here. At our meeting for every year, if there is a senior high school student either going to trade school or to college, to have some type of lottery with some fixed money amount out of that account. I mean, I can imagine not everyone would agree with that, but I do think it would be maybe a cool thing to do when, we do promote and offer these student licenses. And like a good way to sort of have the money go back to the shellfish community. Encourage education in the trades, or, I don't know. That's just what I think about sometimes with like having an account. Like I know, like that's something, I'm a member at the Camp Ellis Gun Club. And that's something that we've been trying to set up, is to do some type of scholarship. When I was in high school, my brother Nate and I graduated the same year, and we were the only ones in the state who applied to the working waterfront in like the coastal Maine magazine. I forget what it's called. And we both got $1,000 scholarship for college. I think that would be
Yeah, we talk about it,
Or
we're just
what thing to
setting
do.
up the account first,
Yeah.
and then.
sure, of course, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I mean, I think things like that would make it for maybe another person, myself, and maybe someone else, like make it a little bit more tolerable and have it make more sense and see the purpose in it and how it might impact me and the people in my world rather than the downs.
Yeah, so it sounds like what we would do is we'll consider setting up the account first. And
I'll look into that.
I'll talk to you about the process. So I think we're good on this unless anyone else has more. Okay. The next item under new business was the 2026 conservation year. Darren, could I get you to introduce that?
Are we looking to leave the license fees the same, or are we just not gonna vote on it until a future meeting?
Oh, yeah, we're not even, we're not sure. Yeah.
Shellfish special.
Do we need to have the license fees down by a certain date?
Well, we're not even there yet.
Yeah, the fees wouldn't take effect until it goes in front of town council. April would be, once we kind of finish like what you gave me and we have a comparison, then we put it out to the committee and say, hey, this is where it's at. Like, where do we want to go?
So like a February kind of meeting?
Maybe January, February, yeah.
It doesn't even matter, not even this year, it's even if it's not next year, right? It'll be the same until we change it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just, usually we vote on it, I was just curious what.
This hasn't been changed for a while, it's the same as quite a while, but we're talking about 2026 conservation year now.
So, the 2026 conservation year, so that was on the agenda just so that you guys as a committee can start thinking about what you want to do and set the conservation year. This committee sets that conservation year, like when the crab kills are, when the surveys are based on, time of year, where we do them. I think this is the third year in a row that we've done the same places nearly. So this next conservation year, we'll have to look and see if this has been the third year. Like, I think this is the third year that we have done
Oh, we're well past 3.
Turner's Bar, Clay Pits, and Upper and Lower Demas.
Oh, yeah, we've rolled that over from years and years ago.
Correct.
Because we want to do the same one
but there hasn't really been a survey on the spit, the battlegrounds,
But it's just that nobody signed that.
Libby River, right, that's a problem. So I just wanted, we're obviously it's the end of November, middle of November. Usually we want to try to have this conservation year set no later than like February, March.
Yeah, I got these coming out around February.
Right.
24 was December, but I was gone. 23 looks like March. So yeah, I'll be putting one of these together probably within the next couple of months. Looks like for crab kills, we had 4 in 2025. Did folks want to try 5 crab kills?
Oh, we're increasing it to like 10.
I thought we were gonna ease into it, and we're gonna we'll vote on it when we do, but I was not aware that we are gonna go that high. What would the process be? Do you wanna manage 10 crab kills or,
It's up to you guys.
okay,
I mean, I think that you're gonna have to look at the tides.
it is a pain to find.
And a lot of the issue with crab kills is, they've gotta start at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
And you don't wanna do those on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night, especially if people, have to work or whatever and So a lot of the crab kills have been low tide. Early in May and late in September. Can be 8 o'clock at night, but June, July, August, you have to start them at 9 o'clock. And run till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So,
August is better.
yeah, so it doesn't matter how many you do, I don't think that you need to do like 15 of them, but you're gonna have to see how many. Of tides you can get on a. Friday night or Saturday night. Or on the saddle seasons, like you could do it on a Thursday night or, at 8 o'clock or 7:30 if it gets dark.
Yeah.
Is there a constraint with your schedule in regards to doing it on a Tuesday or Wednesday?
It does not matter. I work when you tell me we're gonna do them.
We can.
I make my schedule around that.
Trust me, I actually put them on Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Thursday, because finding these tides is not common. I mean, when it's low tide at like 8:30 PM. Or between 8:30 PM and 12, the midpoint. It is not easy to find those tides, and there's not many of them. It was a pain to put together 4, so I mean, we could try 5, and we'll see how that goes. That's my plan. We're not gonna find 10, they're just.
What is you guys' opinions on doing them multiple days in the same week?
Surveys?
Crab kills. So I agree, you can't find 10 if you look for every week, but if you get 2 in 1 week or 3 in 1 week, then.
I mean, you'd be talking probably about doing like a Thursday at Ferry Beach and a Friday at Jones or something like that.
I mean, there isn't really a shortage of crabs at either place, so I mean, I don't really even know that you'd need to mix it up all that much.
It's just that you're showing up to one of them at 9:30. So 9:30 to 1 AM.
But that's usually when I go to bed, so.
That's
It's not that helpful.
Yeah, it's not when I go to bed,
Yeah.
because that means the tide is early the next day, right?
As
4 to.
I'm not the
Okay.
guys who's showing up on time, so.
And
Well,
yeah,
because you go to bed at 1.
if you wanted to do 2 or 3 in a row, like in the tides are right, like on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. It doesn't matter, like when you set that conservation year, it goes into my calendar. And that's why I make sure I'm there for the survey, to deploy you guys out on the survey and to deploy you out on the crab kill. And if for some reason I think that last year, somebody showed up late after I had left and somebody texted me and said, hey, so-and-so and so-and-so also showed up, right, not a problem. I just wanna make sure that you guys are getting your hours documented appropriately so that you're, nobody's questioning what you're doing for conservation time.
I just want the crab kills to go back to what it was like when I was 13 years old on the first one. It was crazy. It was like a party down there. Like every clamor was there. I mean, it was so fun.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well,
Or to limit the number of times, just do 1 big crab kill.
yeah. And then for surveys, I'm gonna keep it the same. Crab trapping we'll do April 1st, October 31st. Right, and spat boxes, I'm guessing they're gonna keep doing it, so I guess we'll keep it on there. Okay, I think we're good on that.
So what are my official notes on this topic of
Five crab kills.
5 crab kills?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is this a?
It's not,
voting
no,
topic or-
No,
I've just gotta know what's put on the document and we'll vote.
Okay,
As long as you're good with that, I think, it used to be 3, so we're still turning it up every year.
really?
Yeah.
and if you find something that's consecutive, like 3 low tide, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
In the summer, and you wanna run 3, just add 6, add 3 in a row, and then we'll put 3 around them.
Yeah.
Cause you don't, I just think the more you have, the better option you have for people to get their time at the same time,
Right, we got 2 at Jones Creek, 1 at Fair Beach, so now. Next year it's gonna be 2 at Fair Beach. That's probably what I'll do. But okay, sounds good, and I think we're good on that. And the next item on our agenda is 2026 license allocations. Could I get you to introduce this? We're not active tonight.
So license allocation is just, that was put on the agenda because it's always a question of, do you guys wanna go up? Do you wanna go down? And that obviously has to go through the process with DMR and then get approved by council, so.
So we should act by December.
Yeah, I think that you need to act. If not, you need to have a vote by January. So that we have a month to put it through DMR in February, put it in front of town council in February or March.
Okay, so yeah, between now and the next meeting, we'll look at the surveys. Try to come up with what we're gonna do. And we'll plan on voting in December.
I don't even think we need to look at the surveys, like.
Yeah, no, it's really.
There's no freaking plans.
There's no plans around. Like,
No, I understand, I wanna see what the surveys
I
look
don't
like.
really think we even can, cause last year they wanted 2 year, or they wanted 3 or 4 years of data. And I think we only had like 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, there's no surveys. That's why we're having the conversation
They
about
want
surveys,
they want 3 surveys, is what they want.
which we don't have.
Well, we got 3 this year, didn't we?
Yeah, I believe we do.
But-
3 of the same
But 3
place,
for the past,
3
how many
separate years.
years in a row?
Cause that's what they
yes.
want. They don't care if we have 50 surveys at 50 different locations. They wanna see the trajectory or whatever the word is, the progression of the clam population, which we don't have, which is
Some of them
why
we-
they wouldn't let us
some of them
reduce.
some of them we certainly do. We know, I think you guys have done Turners.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah, so I think we do.
Well, then why'd they give us such a headache about reducing the numbers? Cause I thought that's,
We only got 2 surveys in 2024. And it was, it didn't go well because the state did not approve of us cutting licenses. That's why,
well,
but,
We
yeah,
should.
we'll plan on.
Can I
We'll
make
plan
a
on.
motion?
Hmm?
Can I make a motion?
We're not acting, but I suppose you could try.
I mean, I usually do.
Yeah.
I make a motion to leave the licenses exactly the same.
Do I have a second?
could I pause, could I have a pause? I
Sure.
guess, what is the alternative on either side, other than obviously to go up or to go down? Like,
I guess
well,
we
how
could
about
have
this? I
meeting
mean,
in
so,
December,
how
just
about
didn't
this?
think we were gonna have one in December.
everyone did their hours, so if everyone did their hours, I would think
Mhm.
everyone has intentions of renewing, so we're not gonna be able to remove any by like attrition or just not offering it back up. And if nothing major has changed since last year on our data, which it sounds like nothing major has, they're not gonna let us remove like the last person to get one. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's like a whole nother thing. And so it's probably not gonna happen. And I sure as hell don't wanna add licenses. So yeah, I guess I second that. Now I'm just talking about, yeah, I second that, Andy.
Yeah, all right, so, we'll have, do you have that on your?
Nope.
I'll let you type that in for a sec,
Got it.
and second by Liam.
Yeah.
So I guess we're in discussion now. Any other comments on this?
Is there a purpose of drawing it out that like another month or two for probably?
We don't
the
have to.
same Result?
We don't have to. I don't know.
I mean, the worst thing they're gonna say is no, they're not gonna say you have to increase, so I said we try to get them decrease. I don't think there's a reason to keep them the same, it's not there, but no, you have to add 2 licenses.
Is there a fear though that they're gonna be like these friggin' selfish like gatekeeper clamors who want to keep taking away licenses? Because I feel like there is maybe a little bit of that perspective in the town council. And I would love to remove licenses. I just fear that maybe we could be giving them the impression like these freaking guys every year, year after year, they're trying to cut licenses.
I mean, it sounds like we have the data this year.
We do have surveys that are probably not gonna be good. And I don't think that the state would approve of an increase in licenses.
What were the surveys like, Terry, for the ones that you did?
On Turner's Farm.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't as much spat as the year before, you know, a lot of the clams had grown and were dug out, but I mean, there was still fair clamming there, I mean, the guys, I think at least the first of the summer there, people were still doing pretty good on Turner's Farm. You know, it's got so that the clammers are just too efficient for the resource, I think. You know, I mean, you're taking out a lot of clams and it doesn't replenish itself fast enough like it maybe used to, you know, but I just don't see the licenses really where they are right now. I mean, I think, you know, I'm buying clams, I'm still seeing good clams coming out of different areas, not just one area, and the price has been, I think, higher this year.
Hmm.
To the clammers on the whole.
Yeah,
Not very good.
$4 this time of year, that's just unheard of all the years that I ever done way back.
I think it's all pretty so bad. One of them, really not.
Yeah.
You get like a week, maybe, if you're lucky.
and if we were to reduce them, how much do you wanna reduce them?
As much as they'd let us.
I'll tell you right now, you wanna reduce by 1, or they're gonna say no. Yeah.
Yeah, but then but so they don't care. What if we had the information to say reduce by 2 or
They don't
3?
care.
The thing is,
So
who's
it
gonna give
doesn't
up
matter.
their license?
And we'd have to get them to do it by attrition.
So I guess
Yeah.
I have a question. How did
So be the last people in, out.
But either way, if we got one this year and we did surveys next year and they're even worse.
I'm a
No,
fan of those.
Yeah.
Benefiting from that.
Yeah, but we're gonna give it up.
Okay.
Nobody gives it up.
Nobody.
Nobody gives it up. It is when somebody fails to renew.
Right,
That's the only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's by attrition.
So what has been put on the floor now is actually to keep it the same. So do you guys wanna vote on that? Cause or you wanna keep discussing?
Let's keep discussing.
Okay,
You just made them. Can you undo it?
I mean, I can vote it down, or I could like,
you can withdraw your
Have-
motion.
I could withdraw a motion, yeah. 'cause
So do I just delete? I'm gonna just delete.
You should say.
Hold on, I'm just saying, we're just discussing,
We
we're
are.
not.
What do you wanna do, Andy?
I don't know, I mean, what do you guys think about reducing license?
I think it's a great idea. I just don't think that they are gonna let it happen.
I
Is-
would say if you wanna try it.
I don't think
try
they'd
it.
let it happen either, but is there like, is there?
We
is
could
there-
try it, cut by 1,
on to
that's
it?
about all we're gonna get, if we're lucky.
Then we cut by 1, cause they're not, like I said, they're not gonna, they're not gonna tell us.
Who was the last person to get a license?
It'd be by attrition.
Hold on,
so
That's
it might
not how we do
be-
it.
Attrition
Yeah,
wouldn't-
it's still on the
wouldn't
books
take
of
away
the-
the
But I know, but he's
Nobody's,
gonna take someone's
Yeah,
license.
you're gonna still go by attrition, that's
Yeah.
fine.
it's whenever somebody doesn't renew. Okay.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion and make a new motion to reduce licenses of the residential, commercial licenses by 1 license via attrition. Does that make sense?
All right, do I have a second? All right, second by Eric. Any discussion? All right, we'll now vote on it. Those in favor? It is unanimous. All right, so that saves some time there. Thank you, everyone. I'll give Liam a second to type.
Done.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Item 9 on our agenda. All right, future meeting and agenda items. Okay, Liam. Can you put
Oh, God. Never mind. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, no.
Shellfish license fees?
For next item.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
under item, we'll put it under item 9.
yeah.
And another bullet would be 2026 conservation year. Is there anything else we should talk about into the December meeting? Okay. Thank you, everyone, and item 10 on our agenda is adjournment. I'll move to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second by Jason. Those in favor? It is unanimous. Thank you, everyone.